So just one thing that is very much sometime as a researcher I feel most of the young students they are going toward management, administration, design, and very kind of declining interest toward going for science, especially for basic science, for engineering. So, how to increase that interest? How to motivate these young people to join this basic science and to go and churn their time into the lab, do experiment, and the way we were enjoying when we were getting results and all.
Unfortunately, what has happened in India, engineering has been in a way very badly affected by two.
Ji.
IT on one side and MBA on other side. 60 to 70% intake in IIMs is of engineers. And of them, very high percentage within that is of IITs. Because you get higher salary with no responsibility.
Yeah.
You go to manufacturing, research, you have to deliver. Now, the change will come. I would take this problem to another front. The quality of education will depend a lot upon committed teachers. So the serious problem is to get
That commitment.
very outstanding PhDs who are committed to research as a career. Teaching and research as a career, which is a very demanding thing. So it is a different life. Unless you enjoy it. I took the job, quarter of my salary in Bombay. Even though I was a full professor at 27. But I had a passion. And I feel if I have an opportunity, when I was felicitated, I made a parting final statement. I made a living doing exactly what I wanted to do.
Great.
And I am willing to do it all over again.
Great. Great.
Now, our job is to inspire people to come as teachers.
Okay.
And that's a hard job. Huh? It's much harder than telling them to go to industry. See, they find an option and then they get married, expensive wives.
Then the more
They
responsibility comes.
get used to easy money. Whereas if you work in industry, it's a demanding job. Not in IT.
Quantified
In
deliverables.
MBA, what they do mostly they go for marketing and that kind of banking and all. That is not that demanding a job. That's why these people find very lucrative to hire engineers. Why bank? How many bankers are engineers? And they do MBA with finance. Now, there are two ways to. First is you have enough number of people which we have in India. But unfortunately, the quality of education in private institutions has not. They may do a lot of selling. One name that comes out is from Tamil Nadu, VST, They seem to have a somewhat better name. But unless there is active research, the quality of education cannot be good.
So in terms of research, I'll just add to what you said. If this is a general perception, if somebody is enrolled for PhD, it may take 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, or maybe more than that. And there are cases, there are real-time cases when PhD guide just saying, okay, I am very busy, come tomorrow. Or this guy has given a paper for the correction and he is taking 4 months, 6 months to correct that paper. So, is there any need to develop some kind of quantified policy that this is the time period, guide should bear the responsibility to
So there are
to
two
complete
ways.
the PhD.
One is the period of fellowship. That automatically sets a seal.
Right.
The PhD fellowship cannot go beyond 4.5 years.
It's there.
SRF and all, no. But take it on my personal front, there is not a single PhD student of mine who went beyond 3.5 years even.
This is so that
And
reference is very high.
there are many who finished before 3 years. And also published papers on their own, single name, while they were still my PhD student. I encourage them, and they are different. I mean, people like JB, Joshi, GT, Yadav,
Yes, sir.
Mashelkar, all these P.A. Ramachandran, who has become almost like a chemical engineer, mathematician like
Right, sir.
Ramki,
Right.
he has book on. Now these guys were, and you look at these persons, our job is to inspire. Take Gaiker was there. He, for economic reasons, he might have not come for research. But then we said we will be able to get you extra money. So he stayed, and see where he is today.
Yeah, that's a different level.
So our job is to inspire people, and when they see inspiration, they will come for teaching and research profession.
The guide should set the example.
I think,
for
see,
that.
all of us, please believe me, nothing will work unless you are an example. Suppose you sermonize, oh, you must publish paper in good journals. Now academics are very bright. He says, sir, but you have not published any paper in the last 3 years.
Yes.
So what is the credibility of that person?
So leading by example.
Then you say, oh, we must consult with industry. But sir, you have not been a consultant. So you can talk when you have practiced it. You must work hard.
Good afternoon, sir. So what do you feel about our college?
I have come for the second time. Last time I had come in April 2018, and whenever I come here, I feel a lot of energy around. I'm aware that it is University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, but there is a lot of energy in the atmosphere, and that is mostly because of the sincerity and motivational contribution of the teachers here, as well as the teaching learning process is ongoing. I'm also impressed by the research activities which are ongoing, and there is a good variety. Some teachers also try to understand local problems and solve the local problems, and that is a excellent idea. If it is increased further and take in confidence the local population and solve their energy problems, it will enhance the image of the university.
So any message you would like to spread to the future engineers out there? So
Never complain in life, and while complaining, you spend a lot of your energy and you don't do anything constructive. So complaining people do not do anything meaningful in life. Those who are cheerful and smiling, they are the only people who can do something good.
thank you so much, sir. It's a pleasure to have you on board.
Yes.
Sir, so what do you feel about the university?
This university as such is a very focused one.
Energy,
Very
yeah.
more focused one.
Yes.
That itself is an issue. Energy anywhere is growing, this field is growing, research is growing, particularly the renewable.
Renewable energy. We definitely have a lab completely assigned to renewable energy, alternate energy labs. So what message would you like to deliver to the future engineers out there looking forward, looking up to you?
For engineers, I'll say, see, whatever knowledge they either through the academics or through whatever knowledge they gather, they should apply for the society. Whatever the problem the society is facing, they should try to solve it. And India as such, they don't have to go anywhere else. In India itself, everywhere, we can see many problems where we can improve upon. So they should work on that.
So what do you feel about a university?
In the present era, university is the hub of the activities of young people who are pursuing the higher education in the system. And if we see the priority of a university, it should try to evolve in a system that students learn not only the bookish knowledge, the practical knowledge and the knowledge which is really useful to the society. Therefore, in India, Ministry of Human Resource Development, we have started Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, that every university has to adopt a cluster of villages around them students should go there, faculty members should go there, learn from the traditional knowledge, the knowledge which people are having, and whatever knowledge they are having from the university, they should also make use of that knowledge for the benefit of those people surrounding area of the university.
So any message you would like to deliver to the future engineers out there?
And what does an engineer means? Engineer means working with the hands, working with the knowledge which is useful in the society in a technological terms. So presently most of the engineers want to have a white collar job. Rather we should develop an engineer in a way that he should work with the hands, he should have aptitude of engineering. It is not only the going in the financial institutions and consultancy and other things, but I am as an IIT professor. I asked my civil engineering students whether they can design a mud house useful in the rural areas, whether they can design a system for rural areas, and they said no, we haven't read that. They are only studying the international books, which is not relevant to the society, which is not relevant to the India. So whether it's a mechanical, electrical and chemical or civil engineer, now these boundaries are being collapsed slowly, and what will emerge is that in future we will not be having different branches, but we will be having a common problems and solution to that. And it will be a multidisciplinary approach where everyone will take part in developing a solution to some problem. So in next 10 years, the line between these branches will be broken up, and then common development engineering, which we are envisaging, that the branch of engineering which we call development engineering, giving solutions to the area, mix of all mechanical, civil, electrical, computer, everything, so that multidisciplinary approach can really able to solve the issues of the society and the technology.
Thank you so much, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for being on campus. It's a privilege to have you on board. So I would like to know what you feel about our university.
So I must say that when the university was being built, since I'm from Dehradun, so I visit Dehradun quite often, almost every year. So when it was being built, I knew about it, and a lot of in the beginning, I think OGC folks were coming and teaching there too.
Yes.
And I knew them because my father used to work at OGC. So I think it's pretty good, very impressive actually. The campus is very nice. You students are very energetic.
Thank you, sir.
And it is very different to find so many undergraduates come to seminars and hear and listen carefully and learn. So these are all right things. Very good. And of course, the professors are pretty devoted, and the fact that you're having such a big conference, that means there's a certain administration is very supportive of it, right?
They're very supportive.
Yeah, so that's what it takes to make a great university, actually. And as you learn, I think by listening to all these people who have come, hopefully some of you will get inspired and you will catch your own mood in the sun, right?
So any message you would like to deliver to the future engineers out there?
There's no, just even what I said in my talk, be passionate about what you want, and make sure that whatever you pick is useful to the society. Okay, but that doesn't mean that you don't do fundamental research. Because I'm a firm believer that great engineers do very fundamental research. Like I did not get to talk today, but we do very, very fundamental research. And go deep in science and understand and solve it. So the way engineering works is, like if you look at a cell phone, for example, you're going in a hand, right? But the science which is done
So much like you have the basic pigment, the carbon black.
No, the more than that, like in nanoscale, making features, making PN junctions, making, and making like literally trillions of billions of them on a 1 centimeter by second. It's a really like humongous science which is done. So what makes us engineers unique is we are not reluctant to dive in and see the derived equations and fundamentals and then turn it around and create something beautiful and useful for the society.
But so nowadays we definitely see a trend that these students are mostly interested in getting into corporate jobs rather than taking up higher studies and going for their masters and research. So like any view on that, the current generation?
Okay, so the way I would just say is look. So the only comment I would make is, if you enjoy going in finance, that's your passion, go for it. But if you're going in finance and because you think everyone, your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, your cousins told you that that's what you should go because there's money in here, then you're making a mistake. Okay, so I'm a firm believer that one should do what one's passion is. Like in my case, my passion is working today, like enable the future of the world with human race. And as long as I have enough food on the table, I do what I'm going to do with the life. Okay? So totally on the other hand, if you want to make a lot of money and go for it, why not? Okay? But make sure that it is your own passion.
It's my passion.
Internal passion, not the society around you which has told you therefore. Because then what happens is, if you pick something to do which is not your true passion, then by the time you reach to 30s and 40s,
We might regret that decision.
yeah, exactly, because life is boring. You get up in the morning and you say, do I have to do anything? But on the other hand, if it is your passion, like,
We look forward to
you
another
get up in the
day.
morning, the first thing you put your foot out of the bed, you think how to solve the problem.
Something has to be done.
Exactly. So there's no one answer. I think it's really individual.
Is it?
Okay?
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. How nostalgic it would be to have learned from Gupta sir and now meeting him once again after so many years.
It's always good to see him. He's more like a father figure to me.
Definitely for
He
everybody.
came when I was in Singapore. He came there, stayed for 1 year, 4 months. And when I was now in Canada, he came here, spent summer there. So it's always good to see him. And we came particularly to see him.
Thank you, sir. So, any message you would like to deliver to the future engineers out there?
I think it's always the attitude to learn. How good students or bad, it doesn't matter. It's the attitude to learn, energetic. That's all that's you can become a good student.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for giving us your
Yeah.
time. Ma'am,
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you so much. Now, what do you feel about the university?
The UPES?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I think I can see that a lot of things, positive things are happening. It's going in the right direction. A lot of positive growth, and I came initially here on 2014, and over this 6 years period, I do see a significant difference. And also, just to organize this type of conference itself shows the strength.
Thank you, ma'am.
Definitely, I think Professor Gupta has a lot to do about that.
Definitely, Gupta sir has supported us throughout the conference. Since a year, he's been working on it. So, what message would you like to deliver to the future engineers out there who are looking forward to meet dignitaries like you?
I think for young engineers, it's very important that, especially because time has changed, like the baby boomers' time was different. People were more into consumerism and all. Now it is a time for environmental sustainability. So any growth that in industry or whatever it might be towards human upliftment or betterment of life has to be with the environment and with the nature and the population in general. So I do say a lot of changes, young people, that they feel like this is the way they should go. So it is not just about meeting some dignitaries for a conference. What I feel is that it's not about just this conference or meeting people from outside, or it is all about growing in totality. Basically, any relationship should be give and take, like both sides should be
Definitely.
getting something out of it, right? So,
Thank you so much, ma'am. We're
most
blessed to
welcome.
have you here.
Most welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good morning, sir. Really a big honor to have you here.
Thank you very much.
So we would like to ask you something regarding a university, like in general, basically. So what do you feel about a university?
Frankly speaking, first time I'm coming to this university, but looking beautiful, fantastic. It just reminds me by Colorado School of Mines. How beautiful is that place, and this is as well.
So what, according to you, are qualities to be a good learner?
It's always you have to do hard work. You have to study, keep up, and then always read from the books. Normally lectures are given in brief, and students would like to minimize the time to study. So I always advise my students back at home that always the textbook is a reference where you can really do and understand more.
So what, any message you would like to deliver to the future engineers out there?
Always look ahead. Always work hard, and then be a peaceful person. You will succeed.
Thank you so much, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.